Man. But shout out to New York. Where are my New Yorkers? Shout out to New York. Hold on. You know, in New York this week, did y'all notice they made this big announcement that they're going to be closing down the Rikers Island prison? De Blasio, he made the announcement, and some other people, they made this big announcement talking about, well, we got to shut Rikers down. You know, it's been, there's a lot of abuses at this prison, and we got to make smaller jails around the boroughs of New York. So they're talking about shutting down Rikers Island, and they're making it seem like there's this big moral thing about them shutting Rikers down. It's just, a lot of people, a lot of abuse. We got to shut it on down. Understand this. They're shutting Rikers down, and they're making different jails around the boroughs of New York. You know why? Because number one, the meth problem is very heavy in white society. The meth problem is heavy. New York and many places in New York is getting gentrified, and there's a lot of meth users and drug users in New York who are white. You can't keep giving these white drug users all around the country, in New York, all over. You can't just keep giving them passes, because you can't just keep letting drug addicts out on the streets. The rehab centers, the slap on the wrist rehab centers, that costs money. The rehab centers are not really privatized like that. Well, they're privatized like that, but they don't have these deals with law enforcement where, you can mass incarcerate and you cut little deals. And a lot of these poor white people, who are on drugs, they can't afford some of these rehab centers. So some of these lawyers are going to go in like, hey, we want some jail time for these people. So the white supremacists staying on code. Now it's like, well, we got to do something about these jails. See, what they want to, when they start sending some of these white drug users to jail and drug dealers to jail, they want it to be a little more lenient. Understand, this whole thing about Rikers Island and there's some kind of moral thing about them wanting to shut down Rikers, that's bullshit. The Rikers family, who Rikers Island is named after, these people that is one of the most evil family empires in New York, the Rikers family. Y'all need to do some research on the Rikers family. The Rikers family, they had ties to slavery for centuries. The Rikers family are some of the most racist fucking people. Let me tell y'all the history about the Rikers family and Rikers Island. The Rikers Island and the Rikers family, they've been keeping black people in bondage for centuries. You understand that? The Rikers Island was named after Abraham Rikers. He was a Dutch dude, came over, and, they own that place. Later on, through the family lineage, they anglicized the name to Riker. It used to be Riken, but they changed it to Riker. Because when you anglicize something, that means you make it sound more white. Because a lot of these people, these immigrants, they came over, and their names sounded a little bit too ethnic, sounded a little bit too Jewish, too whatever. So they would make it sound a little more white. So the name was, they changed the family name from Riken to Riker. And the most infamous of the Riker family, who the jail was really named after, the Rikers Island prison, was named after Richard Riker. Richard Riker is infamous in New York. In the 1800s, Richard Riker, who Rikers Island is really named after, or the jail, because they try to say it was named after Abraham Riken, but if it was named after Abraham Riken, they would have named the shit Riken Jail or Riken Island. It's named after Riker, which is Richard Riker, and there's a reason. Richard Riker was a hardcore white supremacist. Richard Riker was a part of what abolitionists called the New York Kidnapping Club. Why did they say he was part of the New York Kidnapping Club? Richard Riker was a state recorder, a city recorder, and he became a judge. Richard Riker would get random black people in New York who were free, say that they were fugitives, and just sell them into slavery. He had this whole racket going with slave owners in the South because they had the Fugitive Slave Act up here, well, up in the North, in New York. That's what 12 Years a Slave is about. Exactly. But there was a 12 Years a Slave. That was just one of the stories. There was a lot of free black people in New York, and Richard Riker was one of the people who would say and lie and say that they were fugitives, and they would just sell them to Southern slave owners. So, and he was getting little kickbacks from that. There was one case where Richard Riken, there was a black child who was about 7 years old. They took him out of school. Richard Riken said, look, he's a fugitive, and sent this little black child down to the South to be enslaved. Richard Riken did that to a whole bunch of black children in New York City. He was a racist, disgusting fuck. And Rikers Island is named after him. They had the New York Kidnapping Club. I want y'all to look all this shit up. This is very well documented. They kind of hide it, but once you know the names, look up Richard Riken, his history, the New York Kidnapping Club, his name pops up. So they were just getting free black people, lying about them being fugitives, and making a profit by enslaving them. They did that then, and they're doing the same thing now. The Rikers Island prison, nothing has changed about that Rikers family in 200 years. Nothing. Nothing. They kept black people in bondage in slavery in the 1800s, and they're doing it now. Rikers Island, the purpose has not changed, not even the damn name. Nothing's changed about Rikers Island and the family and the name. There's a reason why they kept the name Rikers, because they know what it is. This is why people, the Riker family and Rikers Island, should be sued for reparations. Damn just closing them down. They should be sued. They've been putting people in bondage, that Rikers name. They've been enslaving black people, harming black people, abusing black people, making a profit off black bondage for 200 damn years. So we should look at reparations cases specifically against the Riker family and their descendants, because they profited off the enslavement of black people to this day. This is why we got to know our history, family. We got to know what the hell is up. We got to know who's who. We got to know what these names are and who these people are. Rikers ain't nothing but a plantation. It was a slave operation then, and it's a damn slave operation now. Yeah, the Khalif Browder story, exactly. See, while the Khalif Browder story is out there, we need to know the history of these folks, man, and the history of the Riker family and them illegally locking black people up. They had this whole racket, but they sweep that shit under the rug, man. That's why we got to unsweep it. We got to unsweep this stuff. What's this article? Let me see this article. Yeah, man, it's a lot of shit we don't know, man. They keep their secrets hidden. Yeah, the dark view. Yeah, there's articles. You got to dig for the articles, though. There's books and articles about this stuff. But again, we like Love and Hip Hop. You dig? We like twerking videos. A lot of us don't do the research. We got to do that research, family, and that's what Melanoid Nation is for. Y'all better give y'all donations to Melanoid Nation. Can Dr. Kaba call up? Does he want to call up now? Dr. Kaba can call up anything. Anytime. He can call up anytime he wants to. That's why melanoidnation.org, man. We do the research. We do the research. So we got to understand the game out here, man. How many folks in the room? We deep in here tonight, man. Oh yeah, those plantations down in Louisiana, boy, they keep those plantations up. We were going to film, and I'm glad we didn't. We were going to film on some of those plantations. I was looking for plantations down in Louisiana, but when I was researching them and I'm looking at their websites, I didn't like the shit they were saying on their sites. That just threw me. I didn't like it. They kept trying to. They were white splaining. They were making all these bullshit excuses about slavery, and that's what I don't like. They were saying, well, yeah, this was a plantation, but we had enslaved Africans, we had enslaved Native Americans, we had enslaved Irish. So it wasn't really about race, it was all about class. Let's fuck out of here. All right, here y'all go. I ain't about to patronize that shit. I'm cool. I'm cool. But they start talking that dumb shit when you got a damn plantation and you making excuses talking about it wasn't racial, especially in Louisiana, and they were breeding black people. They had some of those breeding plantations down there. I don't want to hear no stupid shit. I don't want to hear that stupid shit at all.